This one's for the sellers. Is marketing money / VPA, vendor paid advertising, is it a necessary requirement of getting your house sold for the highest possible price? That's what we're going to look at today. So the first question is, can I sell without any marketing money? The answer is yes, but the problem is, if you had marketing money, would you have gotten more for the property above and beyond what the marketing money was spent? You'll never know because you never spent it. Very few products today can be sold unless they're marketed. So that's pretty much a no, you can't sell without marketing money. Why doesn't the agent pay? Well, think of it this way. When you hire a plumber to fix your sink, they charge for their labor and their parts. Real estate is no different. The labor for real estate is the commission we're paid if the property sells. The parts is the advertising and the marketing. And as a seller, this way you have a vested interest in the process. So in other words, if you're spending your money to market the property, you want to make sure A, you pick the best agent, B, they know what they're doing, C, they have a plan, and you price the property correctly to attract the right consumers to it. So it's set up that way for a reason. Why does it always have a picture of the agent on the advertising? Why does the agent always have their head in the picture? Are we marketing the agent, the agency, or are we marketing the property? Well, we're marketing the property, but consumers get to see the same agent after a while if they've been looking for a couple of weeks or a couple of months. And with me, if they see my face, they know if they call me, they will get a return call. Or I will answer my phone on a Sunday or at 7 o'clock at night. In fact, my outgoing message says, I'm really good at returning calls, so please leave a detailed message. So that's why it's important for the agent to associate themselves in the marketing with a picture of themselves and their phone number so the consumer knows that agent will call back. Now, conversely, if you have an agent that doesn't call back, that works as a negative. Now, the other thing to consider here, some companies, I won't mention who they are, used to, I'm not sure if they still do, but they used to have a reward system within their office for whoever got the most marketing. Well, that's a really bad system because then they're looking at marketing their company and the agency and the agent above your property, and that is not how it should work. So just really be cognizant of the agent's likeness has to be there, but make sure they're not just advertising the company above your property. Can I get more for my house if I spend more money? This is the biggest lie in real estate, is that if your house is worth X and you really want this and the agent agrees to it, the agent says, well, we're going to need more marketing money to get you this. Absolute lie. Not true. All they're doing is stealing marketing money off you. Think of it this way. There's two cars for sale, a Ford Focus. They're both identical. This company spends no money marketing. This company spends a ton, but this company that spends a ton wants 10,000 more for the car. So this company wants 50,000, this company wants 60. They do all the marketing. They draw the customer in. Customer then looks, sees the same car over here cheaper, goes and buys it. That's what extra money does to try and get a higher price. All it does is bring the consumer in. Then they do their due diligence. They look around and, oops, there's a property very similar for less. I'll go buy that. So do not fall for, if you want more for your house, you have to spend more on marketing. Absolute lie. And it gets under my skin that still goes on. How much should I agree to spend? There's no real set figure. There's a rough figure of 0.5% to 1% of the sales price of the property, but that doesn't necessarily hold true all the time. Make sure that the agent has a list of what they're spending the money on and ask the agent, is that the actual cost or is that what you're charging me? Are you putting a little buffer on that or not? My company, we don't put any buffer on anything as pass-through costs, so we make nothing from the marketing money. But just make sure of that. So make sure it's itemized out. 0.5% to 1% is reasonable. Anything more than 1% I would say would be unreasonable. But things to make sure that you cannot pass up at all are professional photos. And these days, that's going to be at least $350, and that's in the lower price ranges. The higher the price range goes, the more money is needed because it takes longer to do all the photos. But professional photos with floor plans, with drone shots, professional sign out the front, upload to all the internet portals, all those things are mandatory. And the internet is not free like everybody thinks. We spend between $3,000 and $5,000 a month just to be in the internet portals to market your property. So it's very important that you're in the main portals, which are realestate.com and domain pretty much, but then there's a lot of little ones that we also filter out to. So in the marketing, make sure you have all those main things. Then if the agent has extra things that look like they're reasonable and can get your property sold, because maybe you have an unusual property, maybe you have to be positioned higher on the internet, all those things end up costing a lot more money. So just make sure the costs are broken down and it's not just a big blanket cost and here's what's going to cost as a total. Make sure you see the breakdown in the prices. Is it a one-time payment? So in other words, if you take this money off me, Daryl, and the house doesn't sell, do I have to pay it again in 6 months' time when I decide to sell again? With me, the answer is no. It is a one-time payment. If we're not successful, the burden is then on me. Next time around, you as a consumer do not have any cost. I cover all the costs. Second time around, if I've been unsuccessful. That is not the norm in the industry. In the industry, you spend the money, and if it doesn't sell and you come back in 6 months' time, you've got to spend the same money again. I don't agree with that system. I think that's wrong. That's why I take on that burden the second time around if it happens. Hey, Daryl, what if my house sells quickly? I've got a house that's just going to sell itself. Well, here's the problem. Let's assume that. Let's assume we don't do any marketing and it hasn't sold after a month. What do you do now? Can you go back and put it new on the market again? The answer is no. You only get one chance to be brand new on the market, and you've got to come on with a lot of power and a lot of exposure. If you don't do it that way and you come on and no marketing and it doesn't sell and you try and go back to do it, it's very hard to get that same level of momentum if you're coming on a second time, with a new marketing campaign. So from the get-go, right price, right agent, great marketing, bam, off the bat. What will happen, even if you have a property that's quote, quote, easy to sell, that will attract more buyers. And if here's the list price, like I just did recently on a property, you'll get more for the property, which will easily cover that marketing, even though it sold quickly. Oh, hey, but the agent got paid a big chunk of money and didn't do much. You're paying for my 34 years experience to position the property, negotiate and get it sold. You don't want me to come along and say, hey, I'm going to earn my pay and take 6 months to sell the property. That would make no sense at all. Being sarcastic there. So that's it. Remember, if you want to list your house, if you want to buy a house, if you want to have your house managed properly, please give me a call. Otherwise, have a great day.